Hey teachers, do you prefer teaching with slides but spend way too much time creating those slides? Well, I found 3 AI tools that will generate those slides for you within minutes, and they actually produce really good teaching content. I am a first grade teacher, so I love using slides to show images and simple text for my students to learn from as I'm engaging them in the topic. The first tool that I recommend is called Chalky AI. Chalky AI has 3 main features: creating lessons, lesson series, and worksheets. However, their lessons are what I would personally call slides. They're not actually providing you a lesson plan. They're creating an instructional lesson in slide form. So to get started, you're going to create an account and hit lessons and then hit create new. What you'll have to do is you'll have to put in a little bit of information like what topic you're teaching, what grade level, and how many slides you would like. For this example, I want to choose a topic that I teach in first grade, which is on the 3 types of communities. So I typed in the information that I need and I'm going to hit continue. And then I can also add additional instructions if there's specific things that you want covered. So I want to make sure that there's not too much text on each slide and there's lots of images. So once you typed in information, you want to scroll down and you can include different things in your lesson slides. So like learning objectives, vocabulary, which then you could type in the vocabulary that you want to make sure is covered. So I'm going to say urban community. So those are the 3 vocabulary words I definitely want covered in these slides. So I'm making sure that those are in there. And then you also, if you have the pro version, you can include a YouTube video as well. But I do not have the pro version, so I'm going to hit continue. Now you can choose the theme of your presentation. I like a lot of the ones that are offered, but I like to keep it light. Don't add too much to distract my students, so I keep it on the light one. And then I hit generate lesson. After about a minute and a half, it created me this 11-slide presentation that covers all the information that I was expecting it to. So it starts off with a nice title page, goes over the learning goals that you can review with your students, and also it throws in their key vocabulary slides, which I thought was really helpful. And then it breaks it down just like I would do if I was creating these slides by myself. This is actually how I would do it. So I'm really impressed how it thinks like a teacher and doesn't just spit out a compilation of topics and information and it doesn't just spit out a bunch of information on the topic you chose. So I have all the different types of communities covered, which is exactly what I asked it to do. It's comparing the communities, and it even throws in a matching activity at the end, shows them the students the answers, and even has a review slide at the end. So I'm really impressed with Chalky AI. It's definitely something that I'll be using in my class moving forward. The next AI tool that we're going to talk about today is EdCafe. EdCafe is a tool that I've used before for other resources and other tasks, which I really like. But today I want to talk about the presentation mode. So we're going to want to log into EdCafe, create new, and then we're going to hit slide deck. Very similar to Chalky AI, you're going to put in some information like the topic you're choosing, any additional information, and then the slides, and then you choose your theme. Slide deck does not specifically ask for your student's grade level, so I always make sure to put that into the topic box or the additional instructions, so it's not providing something too overwhelming or challenging for my young students. So for this one, I'm going to do a different example. I had to create a presentation on transportation in the past and present. This is a topic that we cover in my class. And in the additional instructions box, I made sure to put that it's specifically for first graders. So I'm going to do below 10 slides, English, and then I like the chalkboard one, so I'm going to hit generate slides. After about 1 minute, it created 10 slides for me on transportation in the past and the present. And surprisingly, it also threw in some other things that I did not ask it to do that I personally would have done as a teacher. Once your slideshow is created, before you save and present, it allows you to view it, look through it, and see if there's anything that you want to edit or change. I do like what it created, so I'm not going to change anything, but if there were things I wanted to add, I would be able to edit it. It's just kind of like a PowerPoint text box. It's really simple to add and to change. But you can see it went through how people traveled in the past. It goes over different modes of transportation, what their uses are, and it compares what they were like in the past and the present. I really like how at the end it put a comparison slide. It found these images for me, something that I would be able to break it down with my students and show them that change of transportation from the past to the present. And I do like how at the end it put some questions. It added some essential questions for students to start thinking about and inquiring about. So that is my second AI tool for slide generation. The third tool that we're going to talk about today is Gamma.app. This resource was not specifically designed for teachers, whereas the first 2 were designed for the classroom and educators to use. But Gamma.app, I do really like just the process of using it, the information that it puts out, and the way it generates the slides. So you can put in teaching content and it'll still be able to create what you're looking for. So what you want to do is you want to create your account, log into Gamma, and then hit create new AI. It gives you 3 options to create from something that you already have, generate something new, or import a file. So I'm going to be creating it from scratch today. So I'm going to hit generate, and then you can create a presentation, web page, document, or something for social media. Today we're going to be doing presentation. I want it to be 10 cards. If you want it to be more, you do need to upgrade. Since Gamma.app was not designed for teachers, you need to make sure that you include a little bit more information in your description, so when it is creating the slideshow, it has instruction in mind. So for this one, I want to do a different topic away from first grade. So I thought of something that would be good for middle school, which is the American Revolution. The first thing Gamma.app will do is create an outline of the presentation it's going to create. So if there's anything that you want to tweak or change before it starts, you're able to do that. It only took about 30 seconds to create this outline, and it gives me about 10 slides worth of information. I like everything that is in there, so I'm going to scroll down. Now you can choose how much text you want on each slide. Since this is for middle schoolers, I'm going to keep it concise, just so it's not too little, not too much. And then you can choose what type of theme you want. I like the plain chisel one, just so it's not too distracting for our students. I leave it on AI images for image generation. And the last step is to choose what type of image art you like. You can choose between the images to look more illustration-based, photorealistic, abstract, 3D, or line art. I always usually choose between the illustration and photorealistic. I think those are best for when you're teaching something. I think for this one, I want to do the illustration. I think it would give a nice touch to this presentation to keep it engaging for our students. And then I'm going to hit generate. It took about 2 minutes to create this slideshow. And to be honest, I think this is my favorite one out of the 3 apps, out of the 3 websites that I've been using. I really like how it ties in the images really well with the text and the content. It really pops and stands out, and I definitely think it's the most engaging for scholars to be looking at. It does a great job including the information, tying it in with the images, and just making it a concise presentation on the topic that you provided it. If we take a look, it has 8 slides, and each slide is not the same. I like that as well. Some of them have more images, more text. I think that is a huge positive when creating a slide deck. I also am a huge fan of the illustration pictures. Even though the photorealistic definitely would be better for certain topics, I think for something like this, it works perfectly fine. The last thing I want to mention about Gamma.app is on the right, you have this toolbar that you're able to add much more to the presentation once it's done compared to the other 2 apps that we used. You can add more features, tables, images, smart layouts. There's so much that you can play with. If you're not satisfied with what was created, you do have the options of tweaking it and adding more that would meet the needs of your students. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you think any of these would help you save time teaching, comment below which one that you are interested in trying to use next. And if you want more AI tips, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and give this a like. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.